it was super hot, and then all of a sudden it got cold again. It's very confusing. Hello and welcome to Park Talk with Alicia and Naynay. My name is Alicia, and joining me is Naynay.
Hello, dear.
And today we have gathered here today to discuss Villain's Land and whatever else the heck we decide to talk about.
Well, yes. We'll see where we go with everything.
I don't even remember because I don't have it in front of me, but someone asked on the Patreon for our thoughts on Stardust Racers at Epic Universe. So before we get into the meat and potatoes, I thought it would be interesting to mention, because I haven't mentioned it. I haven't done a video on Epic Universe. I haven't mentioned anything. I don't even think I tweeted about it. Like, it just is. Stardust Racers is broken. We all have to get over it. It needs its time to recuperate.
Oh no.
You know, it's been a hard year since because the employee previews had just started a year ago. This poor coaster's been working so hard. Hardest working coaster at Epic Universe. Yeah, it's do you have any idea what's wrong?
So I'm actually kind of confused. Is it just one side that's broken? Is it the entire ride manufacturing mechanism that's broken? Like, what exactly is broken? Because it's technically 2 attractions, right?
Right. They did release an official comment finally.
Oh.
And it's a little bit, I don't want to say BS, but it sounds BS-y. where they're like, we decided to do a scheduled annual refurbishment since it's closed anyway.
Right.
Like, what? You closed it all of a sudden out of nowhere with no warning. You can't call it scheduled. Anyway, they're doing a maintenance inspection, annual inspection, just to see if anything's wrong, fix it. But also they're taking this opportunity while it is closed to add capacity somehow.
Whoa.
Someone on the Inside Universal forums theorized that they could be fixing the track switch or something for maintenance bays so they can put trains on and off faster, which would increase capacity. So that's a good theory, but that's not the reason it closed. I think the reason it closed, and this is based on observations and rumors going around, they've been inspecting every single bolt. Every single connection on this entire coaster, both tracks. Like, they spent like 2 weeks taking the cherry picker around and checking every single connection. And it looks like they're replacing them. So theory, allegedly, they're replacing every single bolt on this roller coaster.
Is there a reason?
Maybe Mock Ride said we have better bolts. I don't know, but I would assume that the first rumor was they're waiting on parts. And what are the parts? Probably manufacturing every single bolt on this roller coaster. So there's a lot of them. So theory is they were doing an inspection. They realized, hey, this could be better. I don't want to say it's unsafe. I'm just saying it could be better, or it could last longer. And since they were already closed anyway, they're like, let's just do this. The downside to doing something this major is they probably have to recommission the ride. They at least get some hours in on testing. If you're going to redo that much, and not just like one joint, but like the whole thing, you probably need to put in hours, because this was supposed to be like a 2-week closure, and then they extended it 3 times. So we're now into like multi-month closure, and they still think they're going to open in April, I think. So last I heard, don't expect it to open until June. And that's based on it being done with the work they're doing by April, and then needing to get the hours in. So if that theory holds water and they need to get all the testing hours in, I'm not expecting to get on this ride again until June.
Damn. I feel like, I don't know, for any other park, this might not be as big of a deal, but I feel it's like with Epic Universe, it's like the price point is so high and there's really not a ton to do, where like losing one major attraction really puts a dent in the experience, I think. What do you think?
Yeah. No, it's one of those things where for me, there's like 3 attractions when I go that I ride, and I'm paying $150 with the discount to go there for one day. And if one of those 3 rides is not open, I feel like I just wasted a third of my money. Because
Right.
like if like Monsters Unchained is closed, then I'm getting a refund. Like that's the main reason I'm here. If
Yeah.
Stardust Racers is closed, okay, well I guess I'll go ride, Hiccup's Wing Gliders, like my second favorite coaster or whatever. That's been having issues and it's closing intermittently, like for long periods of time. So that's an issue. And then of course there's Ministry, which like I want to like the Ministry ride, but I have so much like PSTD about it breaking down and stopping while I'm on it that I'm on edge the whole time, like it's gonna break. Like my feet are gonna move away from the sensor, and I'm gonna be the reason that it breaks today.
Did you say PSTD? PTSD?
I have PTSD, PSTD.
Yes. Yes.
I have
not STDs. No STDs.
I have post-traumatic ride syndrome with Ministry of Magic, and I can't enjoy it. Has anyone ever had this feeling before? Like the first few months, or like the first few years of riding Rise of the Resistance, or that moment, like right when you turn the corner and you're like, "Am I going to get B mode Kylo?" Like for some reason, I can't enjoy the ride because I'm too worried that it's broken.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
It is a thing when the stakes are very high to get on the attraction, right? It's like
right.
Because it's not easy to get on, and there's huge long waits, and the queues are massive. And I don't know if they're still doing are they doing virtual queues and stuff for Ministry, or is it just like walk on every day?
No, it's just a wait in line 3 hours and hope for the best.
Yeah, right. So it's like after a 3-hour wait and holding your pee for that long and going through like the 9-section queue, you're just like anxious the entire time, like please work.
On 2 occasions, I've had to use the restroom before the stairs. I've had to tell them, look, I made it this far. I need to use this restroom or I'm not going to enjoy the ride. Because like there's another 15-20 minutes waiting on these stairs here, and I'm going to pee if I can't get right now. So I've actually gone to the it's not like Flight of Passage where it's halfway through. It's toward the end of the queue. There's the next to the baby changing area or whatever, the baby swap. Anyway, Stardust Racers being closed, obviously bad.
Obviously bad. I was going to ask one question about using the restroom in Ministry. When that happens, do you speak to the people with you in line and talk to them, or do you speak to a team member? Like, do you have to reconnect where you left, or do they just kind of let you in wherever?
There's a team member at that hallway there. It's right when they like separate you into to head toward Umbridge's office, and you can ask to go and then reconnect. Just go back to that same spot. You're gonna lose your place in line, but you go back to the same hallway and then connect back to the line there.
And in just with random guests, and they're like, "Oh, hello."
Yeah, and then now you're just with new people. If you were with, I'm a single rider. I guess if you're with a group of people, you can go and try to find your way back, but like good luck climbing upstairs and getting around people. You could use the forbidden middle path in the staircase. But anyway, Stardust Racers, I don't know. I mean, there's at least one person saying it'll never open again. I don't think they would be working this hard and pretending that they have an opening date if they thought that it was never opening again.
No, I don't think that that's true at all.
I think we'd have a closed indefinitely at very least. I think that executives at the top are like, spring break is coming. We have to be ready by this date. And they keep saying it as if it's going to magically happen. And then the people on the ground trying to actually get the thing ready are like, I mean, you can give us a date. You could tell people a date. I don't think we're going to make it, but you could go ahead and do that. So like, I don't foresee that. I bet you this is the last date they missed, though. That's my theory.
Have there been major strains on all the other attractions during this time? Like, what have the vibes been around Epic Universe? Like, is every other attraction struggling with capacity because of Stardust being closed?
It helps that a lot of the rides are running really well.
Okay.
Like there's intermittent closures for Donkey Kong all the time. But Ministry has been running really well. Monster's always running really well, even if a couple animatronics are down. Even Dracula at the end has been running A mode.
Okay.
Like fully flying at you and flying back and everything. So like good for her. But But Hiccup Swing Gliders seems to have some issues, and like they're fixing them, and then they have more issues. So it's a finicky beast. It really is.
Yes,
Um,
totally.
but I think everything's running well enough, and the operations have gotten good enough that for the most part, the park is running as good as it can. But it is a hole. It's a big gap in the capacity, so lines get longer. And then when one
Yeah.
ride does go down, even just from like lightning in the area, when rides go down, then
Oof.
all bets are off and it's hell on earth. So it's unfortunate. But also, we're in spring
Ay.
break now. This is like speaking from the last few weeks. This is the first week now that we're having to deal with the heightened crowds. I saw the crowd, like the ticket sales, and they're sold out at Epic for
Whoa.
most days, like last week, this week, next week. So
I
to
mean,
be
I've heard
sold
that
out in this park.
but the capacity right now is like less than a Magic Kingdom After Hours party, right? Or is that not true?
I don't know. What is a Magic Kingdom after hours party?
I don't know what the numbers are, but I saw somewhere. Where did I see that? Where like their capacity right now is still less
Actually, that
people.
makes sense because like that's like a quarter of the park at Magic Kingdom, and a quarter of the park is 25,000 people. So yeah, that's about what the capacity is at Epic Universe. Yes.
All right, good to know.
That is the like, they're supposed to be raising the capacity, and I think they technically rose it as high as they could right at the holidays, and that's the
Mhm.
highest it's been. And I think they kept it. They were planning on raising it, but I bet you with Stardust they kept it the same. So right now
Yeah.
they're at a cap that they wanted to move past by now. But
Well, we will see what happens.
yeah, it's either going to open next month or June or never. It depends on who you ask. But speaking of capacity at Magic Kingdom, this is my segue into Villains Land. There was a permit, and I can't remember what the number was, that said that adding Cars rides in Villains Land is going to add a lot of capacity to Magic Kingdom.
In comparison to the island and the river,
Yeah,
or like what are we comparing it to?
yeah, Tom Sawyer Island. Oh yeah, Tom Sawyer Island, and it's 400 people an hour max. Like, yeah. Hold on, let me look it up.
I'm like, what are we?
Yeah, by building these new attractions, it will add 9,000 more guests allowed in the park a day. So, which could be like 10% of the Magic Kingdom. If we're looking at a
That's
90
a high
something
number.
thousand, right? If we're looking at like a 90 something thousand capacity of Magic Kingdom, adding 9,000 is 10% of the park that we're adding on top of already the existing capacity. To which someone replied when I tweeted that out. They're like, okay, are you going to expand the hub for the fireworks show? Like, oh yeah, we
Right.
didn't really think about that. So other
Right.
than the
And
one thing that everyone watches at the same time, like a parade or a show, it
sure.
distributes it into bigger areas because it's expanding the park beyond the berm.
I have not used the TTC in a very, very long time, getting in and out of the park. Do you feel like the TTC struggles at all on busy days? Or no, do you feel like it just works well and it's perfect and efficient?
Oh, I wouldn't say perfect, but they do a pretty good job of like keeping the crowd moving. On the worst days, they have a contingency plan to add buses to add a third stream of people and like quickly
Okay.
like but like if they see that that these lines for the boat, these lines for the monorail are all the way out to ticketing, they will throw on buses and like have people out there with like the lollipop signs and say like, go take the bus, go take the bus. So like they have a contingency
Got it.
plan in place just in case they need to do it, but I very rarely see it happen, and I actually prefer it because it's actually faster than taking like the boat or the monorail.
Sure.
Like because we're just driving like half a mile across the water. It's not a big deal. Just like throw me
Yeah.
on a bus, please.
I
But yeah, they're usually pretty good.
I asked because Disneyland is severely struggling with getting people in the park right now. I mean, if Disneyland announced like, well, I mean, we'll talk about Avatar and whatever later, but if Disneyland announced like right now we're adding like $9,000 people in capacity, it would be like there's no way, because right now from the moment you exit the freeway to the moment you step foot in the park, it can take an hour and 10 to an hour and 15 minutes. Like that's what it's taken me the last 3 weekends.
Right. I usually budget about half an hour to park, take a tram to the front, take a transportation to the Magic Kingdom, go through the turnstiles. And like to me that's annoying, like half an hour, but it's not too bad. On busy days though, I expect up to an hour.
All right,
So, and
well,
that's running well. That's why
yeah.
everyone hates the Magic Kingdom as locals. Like if I go to the Magic Kingdom, I'm there all day because I know I'm trapped there and it's going to take forever to get back to the car.
I will never forget the one time I was like, I've never seen the Magic Kingdom parking lot. And so I asked to come and ride in your car with you. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And that was the last time I would ever want to do that. I was like, wait, there's no way you guys have to go through this. Like, I remember we parked so far and you're like, oh no, this is normal. It was hell.
Yeah, this is normal. I'm just out in Simba. It's just this is the close parking lot. What are you talking about? Yeah, no. Back like 2 years ago when I hurt my leg though, and I was paying extra for the preferred parking, which is like $20 or $25 on top of my free parking. I got spoiled. I got so spoiled because like you don't have to take a tram, and not having to take a tram is like it's worth $20. I'll pay $20 not to have to take a tram. You just get out of your car and there you are. Like how wonderful is that?
Well, there was a moment where your foot or leg or knee or whatever you hurt, it was completely fine and you were still doing preferred parking because
I know I was spoiled. I can't. Once I can't. It's like RIP tour. Once we did it the once, I'm like, I can't imagine ever going to Halloween Horror Nights without it. And now I'm having trouble taking the tram at the back of a parking lot again. I was doing it at Hollywood Studios and I went, this is like saving me 3 rows. Like, what am I doing? What am I doing?
Yeah.
They're parking the rest of the people 2 rows behind me. Why am I wasting this money? I just did my taxes though and tabulated how much I spent parking. And I was like, okay, I'm done with this. The whole point of the annual pass is to not pay for parking, and I've completely broken it. But it was handy when I couldn't bend my knee and couldn't sit in a tram.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Villains Land. The reason I wanted to do this, and we brought it up like 2 weeks ago, we were supposed to talk because there was all these rumors from the Drew Taylor article on The Wrap about, and it's the first time that the villain story is really getting juicy and interesting because all we've had is like this one piece of concept art and our own thoughts, and like our own thoughts can be like grandiose and like it could be this, it could be that, it could be this. And now actually having hard like real rumors of what it could have been and what they think it is now, it's getting juicy. It's narrowing down my vision of what it could be. It's no longer grandiose. It's like, oh, this is tangible and these are the rides that they're probably going to build.
It's so nerve-wracking because there are so many villains and I feel like everyone, I don't want to say that everyone is super divided when it comes to the villains, but of course we all have our favorites. And I think that we all just want our favorites represented. But it seems like if we're entertaining the Drew Taylor route, it really seems like they're kind of like honing in on a cluster of 5 villains and really, running to the bank with those themes and with those characters. And then maybe the rest of the villains will kind of have like small representations in the land. But I don't know. How do you feel?
I thought I wanted a Monsters Unchained style best of ride that has everyone.
That's what I wanted. Yeah.
I thought in using, like, I assumed it would use the ride vehicle from the Avengers ride, like the scoop vehicle from Universal, the Peter Pan ride from Tokyo. Like I thought we were just going to get some motion-based ride and a mix of like screens and animatronics and some plot line that ties them all together. A new type of plot line, maybe incorporating the Magic Kingdom, like the old card game used to do. You know, what was that? The Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom game?
Yes.
Like, why couldn't we do a story that ties all the villains together and they're trying to take over the Magic Kingdom? Like a meta story where like Fantasyland should be our land and like we've been relegated behind the park for too long. Like it seems like an obvious easy win. However, hearing rumors and realizing that sort of kind of was going to be the plan, I don't know if I should say what it reminded me of.
Say it.
Superstar limo.
Oof. Oof.
Hey, look
Ooh.
over there. It's Hades' house. Hey, look to your left. There's Maleficent. Sometimes she's a dragon.
Oh my god, that is so funny.
And I think that new leadership moving in takes a look at these plans and says, like, okay, this is like cute, but maybe we should do something fun and exciting. Let's be real though. The whole reason, and I think Drew Taylor's story did a really good job of illustrating this. The whole reason that there's even rumors of changes at all is not necessarily to plus it up for us. They're plussing it up for lightning lanes. They need to ensure that this is like rise the resistance level, individual lightning lane, makes the most amount of money attraction that everyone has to ride every single time they go here. This
Yes.
isn't a like, in like Mine Train sort of has been that for so long, but at the same time, even I can skip Mine Train and I don't skip Rise of the Resistance. So like this has to be big for everyone. It has to be family friendly enough that families can ride together. So we're not talking like upside down thrill coaster. It needs to be thrilling enough that the teens want to ride. So like a Rise of Resistance level attraction.
Totally. I think that, yeah, that's a great point you make. Like if there even is a redirection happening, which who knows, it's like if there is a redirection, it's definitely a business strategy to earn more revenue. And of course, with that means that we'll get a hunkier, better ride because you can't be charging lightning lanes for a teacup style attraction.
Right.
But yeah, it's very interesting. I love Drew Taylor. I've been a Drew Taylor fan for a minute. I mean, anyone who's on the Tom Cruise coconut cake list, like is in with me. But it's very interesting because I'm like, oh my gosh, like, is this the direction that they're going in? This is crazy.
I'm split on it because the two different main rides I feel like a lot of focus is being put on the rumor that the coaster had become an Emperor's New Groove themed attraction, which
Right.
that just hearing, if you use the movie name, it sounds absurd on its face. Like what?
Mm-hmm.
Like this company, the company that makes rides based on the newest, flashiest attraction, that like base their Star Wars land on the Star Wars movies they weren't done making, and not on the proven original trilogy. Like, are you sure they're gonna make one out of a movie they probably don't even remember they made? But when you say, yeah, but it's because of the pull the lever, Kronk, wrong lever joke meme, it'd be like Universal making a Simpsons ride out of the Homer disappearing into a hedge. Like, I don't,
Right.
I guess if you're doing it based on the meme, and because like for 15 seconds in this movie, there's a roller coaster, like Gringotts, like it's a roller coaster in a movie and it looks fun. So like, okay, let's make a roller coaster out of that. But when I do think villains, I try to think of the scary villains. I don't think of the silly villains. I don't think of Yzma as
Right.
like a villain. I would think of Cruella de Vil before Yzma. I would think of, obviously
Yeah.
Maleficent most of all. I would think of, I would think of Scar as more scary than Yzma. Yzma and Kronk are hilarious, so they're not.
Yeah.
But then I realized, okay, if the overall story that Drew was telling is that they're trying to make family attractions that everyone can ride, but also is fun for all ages, a family Slinky Dog level, thrill level story coaster that takes place with the thing that millennials loved with the pull the lever, and also is good enough for younger kids to ride and doesn't go upside down and is the scariest roller coaster, like they were probably originally envisioning, kind of hits both like boxes at the same time. It's going to get the older generation and the younger generation to ride what is ostensibly a family coaster together. If they can tell a story with it and it'd be funny, it could be the comic relief version of the land, and then the other half can be the Maleficent scary boat ride.
I don't know,
Like,
because the other
maybe you
half
can
is
do
Pain and
both.
Panic. Pain and
Okay,
Panic
hold on.
is comic relief as well. I'm like,
Pain and Panic is in the restaurant.
I know,
That's
but
different.
still, I mean, it's like you only have 4 things to offer in the land, right? You have like 3 attractions and a restaurant, and it's like, okay, if half the land is going to be comic relief, then that's definitely an intentional direction we're going.
I do agree that Hades nightclub, like, is he gonna just stand up there and riff? Like, is he like a lounge singer? Is he and like, do he has sidekicks that are Hades and I mean, has Pain and Panic as sidekicks? Like, that, I agree that is too much comic relief. However, did you read? Do you remember what the original plan was for the restaurant?
It was something so obscure.
It was the old riverboat hideout from the bad guy woman from The Rescuers that I cannot recall for the life of me.
Yeah, why?
Because clearly they wanted to reuse the riverboat from the closed Tom Sawyer. Like,
that is so funny.
They had to have. I think if you think of it in that terms, then they were already planning on the restaurant being a throwaway. Like, they don't care. But if you put Hades in there, maybe like it. God, I hate to say how much of this land is just internet based, but like if people are sharing videos of Hades, like making fun of people and stuff, and crowd, like doing crowd work, the way that like Deadpool does at Disneyland. Like, if you show if things go viral, I could see people booking a vacation and saying we have to do the Hades dinner. Like, I get it. Again, I feel like we're losing the voice of what this land should be because they're working off of memes. But I bring it back to the Maleficent boat ride. If that is true, not only would the ride have an opportunity to have a dark tone at the back of the land, like looming back there, like here's the real villains stuff back here. Like, all the other stuff is like just fun fodder that leads to the real thing. The ride system being the Pirate Shanghai ride system, if it is rumor is true, is a big draw alone. Maleficent being the one actually scary villain is a big draw. The idea that you can probably have a full-scale dragon at the end of the ride could be pretty cool. And maybe you can incorporate other villains into it, but I doubt it's going to happen. And I bet you it's going to be a very serious and like modern Imagineering, stay true to the time period. Like, let's just make this a Maleficent only ride. I could see that happening. But I think it's the best chance for the Villains Land feel to actually be dark and scary.
Yeah, it's like there's so many villains, and where are the girls who are cursing babies? You know, where are the girls who are murdering puppies for fur, for outfits? Like, that's who I really want to see and experience. And I will say that the Shanghai Pirates boat ride, so I'm sure everyone's watched a YouTube video of it. And I remember like watching a YouTube video POV of it before actually writing it. And I remember writing it and being like, wow, this is really not thrilling at all. There's even like a part where there's a backwards drop, and you know, it's like, oh my gosh, there's a backwards drop.
It's like,
but
4
it's really
feet.
not.
It's
it
4
is
feet drop.
a hump. It is a literal hump. I mean, there is nothing thrilling about it. So as much as I love the Pirates boat ride ride technology, if that is going to be the anchor attraction for your land, and it's really not that thrilling, and you're doing something with the villains, which I feel like the villains are so thrilling, then I feel like you need to overcompensate in the story and the theming. And while Maleficent is, you know, characterized as the most evil or whatever, I don't know if just having her is enough. Like, I don't know if there's enough substance there. Am I crazy? I'm like, am I crazy to think that, like, okay, she's not enough? Like, I need more?
Well, we don't have any rumors for story, and Drew just said it's Maleficent themed, so maybe she like, I want to team up with all the villains. Yes, I think that's wise. Yeah. Even the villains show in Hollywood Studios right now only focuses on 4 villains. Like, it doesn't really go into it, even though they have a bunch of mirrors that show 1,000 villains. That's probably what this land's going to be. It's like little tiny nods to all the villains.
100%.
And then like the main ride is one villain and the secondary ride is one villain, and Ursula gets a spinner for some reason, even though she already is the main draw of the mermaid ride next door. But when you were talking, I thought of it and I was like, hold on, we could showcase the other villains in very clever ways. What if there was a designer clothing store by Cruella de Vil?
Yes, yes,
Like, and you go and
yes.
buy outfits you can only find in this land, like Diagon Alley style shops that only exist here. And it is Cruella de
Wow.
Vil's designer label shop. Like,
Wow.
does that work? And then you can have her as a character actually meet out front, like the wand maker at Wizarding World and Epic Universe. Like, have her wander around and be like, "Darling, you have to try this. It would look fabulous on you." Like, I could see
Yes.
incorporating the villains into the world, even if they don't get their own attraction. And does
Sure.
that satiate your need for them?
Yeah, I mean, I think it does. As much at the end of the day, it's like, okay, having like a fish and chip stand themed to Captain Hook. It's like, okay, I mean, I guess, but I'm like, okay, sure,
That's
sure.
gonna happen now.
For it's like, okay, I'm sure Hayden Evans will be happy about that, and he loves Captain Hook, and that's great and all. But I don't know. There's something about having an arsenal of these incredible Disney villains and then building a multi-million-dollar e-ticket and then only utilizing one of them. As popular and as bad as Maleficent is, it's like I still just think that it would be so underutilized to only have one villain represented in your main
What if
e-ticket.
but what if there's a twist ending and she's utilizing Chernabog? What if you
I
get
hate him.
at least one more like massive thing at the end? Um
Yeah.
so like there's at least something. There could be like allusions to other villains, even if it's just small. I don't know. Maybe I'm in
Yeah.
the bargaining stage. I think I think I think they were supposed to have the plan solidified according to all the rumors. Now it's been 2 weeks or 3 weeks, so like it's already settled. It's already happening. Um, and if there's a chance and they haven't done it, and you're listening, Disney, Cruella de Vil designer clothing store, please.
That's iconic. I'm so surprised that they did the Cruella de Vil Lounge over this like gift shop idea
Where was that?
on the cruise.
Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, I'm not
You didn't
caught
see
up on
that?
the cruise news.
Oh
No,
yeah.
I'm not
I
caught
mean,
up on
it's
the cruise
not the
news.
newest cruise. It was the cruise that came out before.
Oh, okay.
There's a whole jazz lounge called DeVille's, and it's like a piano bar, and she makes an appearance, and it's like fabulous. But now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I feel like a gift shop would have been cooler because like her whole thing is fashion. It's like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
And they lean into the fashion thing in the villain show at Hollywood Studios, and I like it. Like, she does a costume change halfway through. It's brilliant. Like, that's the, especially with like the new movie with
yeah.
Emma Stone. Like, I think you need to lean into the fashion element with her if you want to make her likable and less dog killing. Look, I'm still on the fence about the Emperor's New Groove themed roller coaster. I'm
Oof.
worried that like if you look at the permits, like there
Mm-hmm.
is two giant buildings, and the one on the right got a little bit bigger, but I think that's to accommodate the Hades dinner show theater dinner thing restaurant. Because I think the restaurant's attached to that, and then the bottom thing is like quick service and shops. But like the one on the left, I assume is the roller coaster. And I don't know if it's going to be outdoors or indoors or both. I thought the building was big enough to do it all indoors. However, you're looking at the concept art, the original only concept art, and it has this like scary looking thrill coaster outdoors. So I'm confused, and I'm wondering, is like an Yzma Kronk coaster all indoors? And then even if it's a low level thrill, it still at least would be themed like a dark ride, and I'm kind of okay with that. But if it's like indoors, outdoors, or if it's mostly outdoors, like Slinky Dog, it's gonna feel cheap to me no matter how much they spend on it.
I think that a home run for them for this attraction would be Crush's coaster from Disneyland Paris. It's indoors, it's fun, but then there's a little outdoor section where people walking by, there's like, it adds kinetic energy
Yeah.
to the space.
Yeah.
Like you'll see the shells like coast by and then go back into the building. There's enough in there for you to add theming and characters, but then there's also just a part of the attraction where you're in darkness, just zoom in. It is a very, very fun ride, and it is very thrilling, but also it's still family friendly. I feel like that should be the direction that they go in. I feel like it has a little piece of every category that would be successful.
And it's very different from the coasters already in that park, because there are a lot of coasters in Magic Kingdom.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It would be so different, and I think that it would be so fun. As far as the spinner goes, I truly feel like I'm just like there's something you could do something so cool with it. I'd love to revisit the Mary Poppins idea where there is a round ride in an enclosed building that uses a lot of projection mapping to make it more dynamic, especially coming from a park that already has spinners. It's like I think that just a random Ursula tentacle spinner is, I'm like, I don't know. Like let's just do something a little more, I don't know. I think we could like revisit the Mary Poppins idea. No, like that was like such a great idea, I thought.
Even if it was the same Ursula spinner, but inside a building, so you could do like different projections on the walls to
Sure,
tell a little
sure.
story on the ride. But then the whole point of a spinner is so that little kids walking by see it and want to ride it. So like they would never do that. The whole point, I think, of it is to go like the big kids are going to go ride the scary Maleficent ride. Here you get to do this as your consolation prize. And I don't know why we all got our hopes up and thought that the Magic Kingdom would have a mature land with mature rides, because it's the Magic Kingdom. Of course it's going to all be kiddie rides.
But does have you been to the Halloween party at Magic Kingdom? Because I haven't been. And like, what are the vibes of that? Is that silly and goofy, or is that like mature villains?
No, it's
Like,
silly and goofy. It's like
yeah, because
the Sanderson sisters are the main show, and they're cracking up. They're telling jokes and stuff. This is not the scariest thing. Is probably the ghost in front of Haunted Mansion, like, or maybe the Headless Horseman. Like, this is not a very serious scary thing. Like this is for kids trick or
okay.
treating. This is not a scary thing.
Oh wait, I think it's called Mickey's Not So Scary.
It's literally in the name. It's literally in the name.
So I feel like that's what we can that's what we can expect with this. And you know, here's the thing: if you are trying to go in the family friendly villain route, then I do feel like Yzma and Kronk are perfect, right?
Right, and the Shanghai boat ride, ostensibly a Omnimover boat ride, is probably the biggest thrill you can expect on a family attraction anyway. Like, at least, like, if you're going to
Sure.
do another boat ride in this park, at least it's somewhat different. And maybe they'll like turn the boat around in ways that make sense for the story that they didn't do in Shanghai, because they can.
Yeah.
Like maybe we'll get a sideways boat motion, or we'll
Sure,
circle around
sure.
something while facing it. I was taking it to mean it also means animatronics. And then maybe the original plan was more screen based, like the Avengers thing, allegedly. Like I'm assuming the Avengers thing is a lot of screens, based on the concept art alone. But like, instead of maybe, and I know the Shanghai Boats ride has a ton of screens too, but it also has some really good animatronics in the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say, even to go back to your argument of, oh my gosh, it feels so weird like investing in an old property when like they didn't do that with Star Wars. But also, it's like, I don't know if they would consider Galaxy's Edge super successful. So maybe, you know, they're like, oh, maybe we should stick to what people know and love. And I'm sure when they do the data analysis and they see, okay, let's look at demographics and who's spending the most amount of money in the parks. It's like, it feels like right now they're really severely catering to millennials, which thank God, because the characters and content that was made for the millennials is, in my opinion, like the best of Disney, personally.
Right.
So, you know, it makes sense. It's like, okay, cool. If this is what people want and this is who's spending the most amount of money in the parks, then maybe Emperor's New Groove is something worth investing in. Because listen, we invested in BB-8 and Rey, and people, I mean, if the Star Wars fans aren't eating it up, then who the hell is? Right?
And you know what? You make a good point, because my favorite Disney movie for the longest time was Lion King, and Disneyland Paris over here canceling all the modern properties and instead building a Lion King ride is probably a microcosm of the total grand thing that seems to be happening across the parks.
And I'm happy with that. I love that direction. Like, we have some incredible, amazing properties that we didn't have the technology to make the greatest attraction ever produced back in, whatever, like the 90s or early 2000s. We have that now. And if these characters are still holding true and the merch is still selling off the shelves and people still really resonate, then let's retell these stories and bring the characters that everyone knows and loves and bring them into 2027 and beyond with the newest technology and just make it amazing. So I'm all about this. I'm all about this direction. I was actually not all about the constantly shoving in new characters that did well at the box office. It's like, hold on, I don't know these guys yet. I don't really want them taking up a whole lot of real estate inside these theme parks. I haven't really developed
I mean,
strong enough
ironically,
relationship.
Walt started it. The first castle was for the movie they hadn't put out
It was
yet.
promo.
So
It was promo, yeah.
it was
That's
a
true.
promo.
It's true.
So
it's a part of like the old blueprint.
Yeah, this is the way that things have always been. However, I think Disney definitely thinks now very long term, and if they're building a ride, they want it to last not 20, not 30, not 40, but 50 years, if at all possible. And if it doesn't, then all you do is you like repaint the guitar and the ride vehicles and change the music out. And you got a Muppets coaster now. Like, there's no reason to tear it down. The coaster's fine. We just re-theme it. So if they're going to build something, they need it to last. And like, you can't just be doing It's Tough to Be a Bug with A Bug's Life 3 years before that movie comes out and hope for the best.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you have?
We didn't talk about Cars at all.
Oh my gosh,
I don't
Cars.
That's fine. It's fine. We don't have to talk about Cars. There was a patent that was discovered this past week that everyone thinks could be, and it was definitely filed around the time that they were working on the Cars attraction planning. So even if it isn't what they're using, it's something they probably considered, but it has the ability to change course. Either for capacity or for the guest deciding I want to go left or right, or like you can have a bumpy ride on the right or a non-bumpy ride on the left or whatever. But when I looked at it, I thought, we're riding around in sentient vehicles, and I think it would be pretty neat if the car decided where to go. But it's really just secretly doing a capacity thing where like it's even odd to make sure that like you can have twice as many cars running through the same spot. And like I could see that being clever use of space.
I saw this patent and I could not, for the life of me, I don't know why my brain could not compute what I was looking at. I'm like, I don't understand.
It looks like a cross section of a pregnant lady, right? That's all I kept seeing was like.
I was like, what is this? What is happening? Oh my gosh. I mean,
but anyway.
Here's the thing. In Radiator Springs Racers, I mean, we kind of have that situation, when the track splits up in half in order for the cars to race on two different tracks.
Right.
Your car decides which side to go on, and your car makes that decision, right? Like, you don't know what side you're going. You don't know if you're going to get your tires changed, or you don't know if you're going to go to Ramones and get repainted. So that aspect is fun. But are you saying that, is it like Mystic Manor vibes where like you could just have a completely different attraction depending on which direction you go in?
I think the way that the art was made, I think it's just going to be you could go up or you could go down. Like there's a little raised section and there's a little lower section. Maybe you go through a puddle on the left. Maybe you go up on the little rock cliff on the right, like that kind of thing, where you're still seeing the other cars around you, but there's like different terrain that you could do. And that kind of mixes it up.
I remember when they were working on Radiator Springs Racers, I was very much like at the park all the time during its planning and when they were, releasing concept art and whatnot. And I remember not quite understanding what the e-ticket would be like. And the way that it was advertised was that it would just be an outdoor race. Like, it's race day and you're going to race outside. I remember all of our jaws dropping on opening day when the vehicle turned into a show building and it was a whole indoor dark ride portion with all the animatronics, all the characters, and there was also the racing component at the very end. It was kind of like a best of situation. With this attraction, I find myself in the same shoes as I was when I was a kid, where I'm like, wait, is this all just an outdoor rally race situation, or is there a portion where we're dipping in a show building and we're going to be able to see these fabulously beautiful, elaborate sets with animatronics and cool lighting, and then we're going back outside? Or is this all just kind of okay, we're just climbing up hills and going in circles? It's giving Knott's Berry Farm to me a little bit. I don't know why, like, my brain can't compute what this is going to be.
We're exploring the majestic beauty of the national parks of the United States, Purple Mountain's majesty, and flowing streams. It's best I can offer you is a little hole in the mountain, like Donald Duck's train set, and we're just gonna pass through. Like, I am not in any way expecting. I bet you the finish line has animatronic cars to cheer you on, and the starting line, maybe in a load building, is going to have some cool animatronics, but I do not foresee full-on show scenes on the actual ride, just nature.
But I don't foresee full-on Cars animatronics out in open air in Florida weather. So what are we, where's the middle ground here?
Well, in the Tow Mater and Lightning McQueen are undercover at the finish line, but they are outside. We'll see if it actually happens.
Yeah, these animatronics are, I mean, if I'm assuming that they'll be the same ones that we have here in DCA, these are like insane animatronics. I cannot see these things anywhere outside. Like, that is nuts to me. Even if you put a little cover over them. No, I think they would be in between.
I think they'd be in between. I don't think they're going to be as detailed. That's why you're only going to see them for a brief moment. And they're like the Squeaky at the end of Slinky Dog. Is that his name? The penguin?
Where it's the hard fiberglass and it's like a...
And you only see him when you're on the ride. You can't see him from off the ride. Like, so purposely, you're only going to see him for a brief moment. Like, I think it's that.
For those of you who have not been on Radiator Springs Racers, how the Mater animatronic works is basically the entire front of his face, not including his eyes, I mean, like, kind of, I guess, lights, nose, and down, is a giant, like, latex rubber, like a massive latex rubber piece, so that it all looks seamless and you don't see any seams where his mouth moves. And, like, for example, I just can't see that amount of rubber in the Florida humidity.
I think static faces, animated eyes on a hydraulic lift that can just make them bounce up and down like they're cheering.
Static mouth?
I'm not even seeing. Yeah, I'm not seeing talking. I'm not seeing anything. I'm seeing woo, 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 and they're just bouncing up and down and maybe side to side on a stick with their tires frozen so that their body looks like they're bouncing on their tires. Like, I am not expecting anything elaborate. However, if you do load inside, then you can do some elaborate characters to start the race. That'll be your cool part where I also think they might have stands. Like, the concept art has just stands with a bunch of, like, cars in it. So you get, look, this is the company that put 50 stormtroopers in a giant hangar, and like 3 of them tilt their heads slightly. Like, I don't, just because it looks cool at a glance doesn't mean they're going to make all of them move a lot.
Right. And it's also the company that made, like, the Cars road trip attraction at Disneyland Paris, which scares me.
Just paint the smile on the exploding truck. It doesn't have to move. It doesn't have to move.
Oh my God. Oh God.
He's outside all the time.
I'm very excited to see the nature aspect of this, because I feel like that for me is going to be a huge highlight. I've been seeing the construction progress so far, and it seems like that like little windy path that they're kind of sculpting out of the old river seems to be like a creek, right?
I think that's what it's going to be. That's the base of the creek. Like, they're going to have to build it up. Yeah. That's the base, and it has like pipes running through it. So I think it's going to be a running water stream. They're also going to be expanding. Blog Mickey was saying his theory is that they're going to expand the work walls out and redo the boardwalk there to merge it into the atmosphere, like to merge it into the area better. Instead of just building it underneath the existing boardwalk, they're going to make the boardwalk part of this new nature area.
Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really wanting just like fabulous lush waterfalls and foliage, and I don't know, I feel like this has the opportunity to be what Grizzly Peak is for us,
Hmm.
which is such a banger. I mean, all these years it is probably one of the most beautiful spaces to be in. Even, if the attraction is a flop, it's like at least like make something beautiful and
I mean,
scenic and
yeah,
fabulous
I
to be
think
in.
there's some calculation going on to be putting running water in between the Frontierland Main Street and the moving cars ride. Even if you can see the cars going by putting the rushing water, the waterfall, the stream, the babbling brook, right there at the boardwalk, it's trying to separate, like to delineate. And maybe cancel out some of the noise pollution of the cars going by. This isn't going to be Tomorrowland Speedway. Like, we're not vroom vroom. Like, this is this is
Yes.
this is a modern car ride, so hopefully a little quieter. But also, yeah, I think it'll be neat. It'll be, instead of the frontier, we're gonna look over and see the wilderness. So like, it'll add a different kind of serene when you're looking over.
The only thing I will say that I saw in the concept art that we've seen so far where I was like, oh, I don't know about that, is the isn't there supposed to be like a tundra section? Like icy,
I
snowy.
That's in the old concept art. I don't think
Okay.
that's in the new one.
I was like, I don't
And
know about that, you guys.
I don't know about that. The new
Yeah.
one with the park ranger on it doesn't seem to have that one. It seems more all continuous, like all the
Cool.
same style, all very Yellowstone National Park.
I love that. Love that direction. Cannot wait to
Yeah.
see. What do you think will open first?
What do you mean? I mean,
Cars or villains?
oh no, has to be after Cars. Cars is the walkway to Villains. Cars
Oh,
has
got
to
it.
open first because it's a connection point, and they're going to probably put bathrooms behind Haunted Mansion and an extended queue for Haunted Mansion. I don't think it's going to be the Haunted Mansion lounge like everyone wants it to be. However, with how small these lounges are, it could be the same size as the bathrooms. Who knows? I don't. The building is twice as big as it needs to be for bathrooms, and I was thinking they could put an extended queue here, but maybe that is the lounge and the bathrooms. Who knows? These things are tiny; they're standing room only. That
Right.
bathrooms is being put there because it's the bathrooms between Cars, Haunted Mansion, and Villains, and that infrastructure
Mm.
is needed to open first, and then they can open Villains. I think we got Tropical Americas 2027, Monsters 2028, probably Cars 2028, Villains 2030, unless they do it in phases. That's what I'm thinking.
Wow. So you think monsters before cars?
Yes,
I
because
feel
Cars
like
only just started laying a foundation last week, whereas Monsters is refacing these buildings fast. I could see Monsters being a
really.
two-phase situation where the show opens and the restaurants open, and they're still not done building the coaster inside.
I need to check out monsters because to me it looks like they haven't even started. It looks like they're just still kind of like grading the land.
No, they're on their third layer of concrete for that foundation for the Monsters coaster.
Oh my god.
It's
So vertical
insane.
soon.
Yeah, vertical very soon. All the connection points for the supports are put in there, like the actual building supports. So like that's gonna
Got
go.
it.
The steel's gonna start going up there in a couple months because I think because it's an indoor coaster, they have like this sand layer in between the foundation layers to
Sure.
minimize rumble, sound, ground breaking apart like a Yeti. Like, so it's taking a long time, but once this foundation's done, they could start building much faster.
Wow.
And I think they have a whole year through 2027 after this year to build that building, and then I think it'll open in 2028. That's my theory, but they could open the Monstropolis at the end of 2027 if they wanted. That's also possible.
Yeah.
Cars
I think
Land
it
might
just
take a while because we have a mountain to build.
right, and those take a long time. I mean, they take longer
Disney
than
be
like ride
meticulous with their
systems.
mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll
Which
be
yeah.
interesting to see that ride system come together. Before we ran out of time, though, I did want to ask you, speaking of Monsters Incorporated, over
Yes.
at DCA, what's going on and why is Monsters Incorporated, Mike and Sully to the rescue, staying open?
Ooh. Okay. So this is what I heard. I think that I don't know if the original plan was to, utilize all of the figures and animatronics and whatnot from our attraction. I'm sure that they would have like repurposed and reutilized some of the props and stuff.
I just want the Raws. I just want the interactive Raws. That's all I want.
She is the best. Like, so I think that the rumors of like, oh my gosh, they're going to use every single, damn prop and animatronic from this ride and just ship it over to Florida. I don't really see that being the case. I do see some of the things being the case, but as of right now, I think that they learned with Dinosaur and they said, listen, like, if we don't have to close this right now, let's not. Like, let's keep things open for as long as possible. Because here's the thing, it's like, if they're going to just close it and it's just going to sit there, then there's no point. Like, we need the capacity. We need a children's ride, frankly, in that park.
Yeah.
And it's also a Lightning Lane attraction, so it's actually making them revenue. It's not like Little Mermaid. Well, I don't know if is Little Mermaid Lightning Lane. It might be, but it's actually making them money and revenue, and it's extremely popular. So I think that it's just simply a Dinosaur situation where they're like, if we don't have to close it, let's not. Mm-hmm. And I think that
they have a lot of work to do behind it before they even need to close it.
That's what I'm saying. It's like they have so much work to do behind it that it's like, I would not even touch Monsters, Inc. right now. So I think that is just literally what's happening operationally. It's that like we can keep it open, so we will. And what did they say? They're keeping it open until 2027? Or it's just staying open
throughout the rest of this year.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm happy about that.
I could see them reusing the wall, the door walls from the finale of that ride. But like, it's not like they don't have a mold somewhere they can fill and make more doors. It's not that big a deal.
And
there's
also,
no way
let's be honest,
they don't have the way to make more doors.
Removing, shipping, and installing in Florida, that's like, what, 3 weeks? That's like a 3-week job. It's like, really, it's not like we have to tear our stuff down like right now and just have it sit in a warehouse for a year and a half. Like, Orlando's also not as ahead to be closing down our Monsters Inc. right now.
Yeah, if we have all of 2027 to do the set install for that coaster because we haven't built the building yet, we don't need it. We don't need your stuff. You can keep it for a little bit.
Exactly. So even if that were the case, it's like, as far as the timeline goes, there's no need to close this attraction right now.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think that's
so
where we're at. So
Avatar Land is not canceled? Is that what you're saying?
I really don't think it's canceled, sadly.
Because there's been 3 rumors. One, the city of Anaheim wants to ensure that the backside of the new Avatar Land is not ugly. It's a Cars situation all over again.
Thank goodness.
2, James Cameron wants big changes and it's going to take another 5 years. Or 3, it's completely canceled because they've lost all faith in Avatar altogether, because even though it made $2 billion, the movie cost 1.5 to make and they still haven't made profit, and they never want to make another Avatar movie again. So those are the 3 rumors, and all 3 of them are wrong. I mean, I'm sure Anaheim wants to make sure the back of it looks fine, but they were going to do that anyway.
Yeah, the backs of the projects is like a huge thing for me. So whoever the heck wants to crack down on that, I am all for it. Especially if like your first impression of the park is seeing the backside of it. Like, you literally enter Mickey and Friends parking by looking at the backside of Galaxy's Edge, and it is the ugliest thing I've ever seen. So it's like, it's like that being the first impression of your land. It's like, it should be grandiose. Like, what happened to like being able to see Hogwarts Castle on the freeway and getting so excited and be like, oh my God, we're going there. And instead it's like, oh my gosh, I'm literally looking at like exposed steel and chicken wire. And I'm already taken out of the story in the project before I arrive.
I think that's the magic, though, of Disney. Is like, look, here's the back. It's like driving around the backside of Catastrophe Canyon. It's like, here's how it looks like for real, and we're repurposing this water. Like, here's the backside of Avatar, and it's just a big, flat Walmart-looking building with like some like floating mountains on sticks behind it. That's what you're gonna see.
That is so like old Hollywood Studios coded, where it's like, you're supposed to see the soundstage. No, you're supposed.
When you're driving away, you see the earthquake set reset. It's neat. Like, look how neat it is. It's resetting.
Yeah, I don't know, but I definitely do think that Avatar's happening. I just think that is probably gonna take forever. Coco is what's really coming in hot.
Yeah, movement on Coco is really exciting because there's tree clearing going on.
Yeah, I think tree clearing, if I'm not mistaken, is done. If I'm not mistaken, I think that it looks pretty flat back there. My friends in parades have basically already been told we're done. Parades are done at DCA because they literally have to get started on Coco. So they're really ramping up. I'm curious to see in what direction the show building goes, whether it's going to fully wrap around going the California Screamin' side, or if it's going to kind of like leak into the pizza pasta side. We obviously know where the entrance is going, but I'm just curious to see what direction it's really going to take over when it comes to backstage. So I think that is the next DCA. Well, no, I think that the next DCA project is Avengers, and then Coco after.
Yeah.
Avatar last. And I mean, I wouldn't even say 2030 for Avatar. I mean, I would say, I feel like we got a long way to go for Avatar.
Yeah, which is what happened with the last one, and it ended up being good. So, patience.
Yeah. Patience.
Yeah. It's definitely not canceled, though. That's all I wanted to ask.
Yes, definitely. I don't think so.
Okay. I think that's it. I think that's all we wanted to talk about. And there was a bunch of announcements over at Walt Disney World for everything opening, and I think it's funny how there's like this big elaborate thing and it's all confusing, but the answer is the end of May. Everything opens the end of May. Yay!
Yay!
Except for Buzz Lightyear, that opens like in 3 weeks.
Is the animation thing in studios opening end of May, or no? Is that something?
Late summer. The courtyard opens the May 26th. The actual experience with Olaf draws and all that stuff doesn't actually open until late summer. So they have to finish the interior.
It's very funny, you guys. My ENT is literally across the street from the Disney Studios in Burbank, and the courtyard that they're building in Hollywood Studios, like with the planter and with the like, the little miniature marquee close to the floor, that is across the street from where I got my nose procedure done like a week ago. So I was there like getting my procedure done. I was like, oh my gosh, it feels like I'm going to be in Hollywood Studios.
I stand by it. It is so funny. The more work that they do at Disney's Hollywood Studios, the more it should have been named Disney California Adventure, because we actually stayed true to it. Everything in that park,
funny.
Except for, and if all we needed was like a Lucas ranch sign at the entrance to Star Wars, and we would have like kept this in theme. Like we're so close to keeping, and then Pixar Place as the entrance to Toy Story Land, which they kind of did keep the brickwork there, like, because everything being like, even the little bit of Grand Avenue that's still there, and that like tunnel from Roger Rabbit, like everything is so California now. We've eliminated any like residue of New York or any residue of anything else, and now even Animation Courtyard is themed as something in Burbank. Like, how perfect is it all?
I'm very excited for that. I'm very excited. I will be back in Orlando for Flower and Garden Festival in May, so hopefully Alicia and I will get to giggle, and maybe we can film another video, feed the children.
God. Yeah, I haven't done a vlog like since then. We need to do I might film something tomorrow, but it's not the same without you.
Oh, I miss you so much, and I miss you in all your various tales.
Thanks, Naynay. Thank you all for listening. Bye-bye.